Hello, guys. How are you? I'm going to make sure my hair is all nice and perfect. But, guys, guess what? It is officially Monday night, which means that for Print School, we are going live as promised. We have two upcoming topics. Tonight is going to be, of course, focused on the legal basics. And then next week, we're going to be focusing on a different topic. Those topics were sent out in the email blast, which is a part of our Print School email list. So if you're not a part of that email list, I don't know what you're doing, because guess what? This week I'm sending out this week's focus and weekly strategies. And so please make sure, if you have not gotten on the email list, you need to go here. You need to go right here and you need to sign up. Don't mind my nails. I'm getting them done tomorrow. It's been a long time coming. But anyway, this is where you want to go. Okay. And when you go here, you will see this is like join the community, and it's for free. And you join via email, and you will be a part of the email list, and you'll start to get all of the email alerts for Print School. So before we get started, guys, as I always like to do, I want to see the community. You guys know I love you guys so much. You guys make me keep on going. Okay. So if you are watching this via YouTube, you're watching this via live, shout out, say hey, introduce yourself. We get a lot of some like the same faces when we do the live. So it's really nice to see who's back again. It's nice to see some familiar faces. And of course, I think the really cool thing about our community is that, and, as you join the live chats during the live streams, you're going to see people that you saw in a previous live stream. So you'll be able to say, hey, how you doing? Good to see you again. So again, be sure to comment in the live chat if you're watching this live and say hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from. I love seeing the different people who are part of our community. So be sure to say hello. So today we're going to be talking about the legal basics. My goal is that I will be providing live streams every week on a particular topic that is based upon questions that you guys have. And there are a ton of questions you guys have about many things. And so my goal is each week to pick one topic, and then to address those topics. And some topics are topics where, these are kind of like these are like videos that I really want to have done, period, because these are like kind of like the beginner blocks for many of the products that you're going to be producing. And one of those topics is the legal side, right? Getting legal. So we're going to be talking about this from the business side as well as copyrights, trademarks. And again, I am not a lawyer, so I'm putting out this disclaimer. I am not a lawyer, but I have tons of friends who are. That's the blessing of having great friendships. I have friends who are intellectual property lawyers, which we're going to talk about. And then I have friends who are family law, general practicing. So, but today we're going to be talking about two areas about getting legal. So again, I am not a lawyer. So please, this video is not, I'm not an attorney giving you, your advice. Okay. So you need to consult a lawyer, an attorney, same thing, specifically, okay, about your particular business. And I believe that every business owner should have a lawyer. And we're going to talk about some lawyer yeses and some lawyer no's, and some business yeses and some business no's. Okay. And some of these things I'm sure you may already know, but for some of you, you don't. And my goal is for us to cover these basics, because sometimes we forget the basics. Okay. So let me do my shout outs. Hello, Tracy Jackson. How are you? Hello, Liana Bill. How are you? Guys, remember, if I butcher names, charge it to my head, not to my heart. Hello, Pleading Mom. How are you? Sorry, Darnita. Hey, Darnita, and she's from Florida. Hello, RTV from Texas. Hello, Christy from Michigan. Yeah, you got your journal. You got your my $500 planner and journal business ebook, right? That is so awesome. I'm so glad. Hello, Lisa from Harrisburg. Oh, you're from Harrisburg, Lisa. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. But anyway, my boyfriend is from Lancaster. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Lancaster. Gotta say it right. Lancaster. Yeah. So I'm like right down. I'm like literally like I'm out there all the time. So we need to do coffee. Like, I'm being serious, Lisa. You need to email me so we can do coffee at Starbucks. Okay. And if anyone lives in like near the Delaware area, I want to get coffee, let me know. As long as you're not crazy, don't kill me. Okay. Latasha Little. Hey. Raquel, hey, oh, from Atlanta, yes. Teresa from Maryland, yes, yes, yes. Okay, guys, shout out to Maryland. So that's actually where my dad's side is from. So shout out to Maryland. I'm in Maryland way too much. So guys, hello, 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 welcome, welcome, welcome. Even if you're joining us late, still say hello because I rewatch my videos and I always go through the live chats. So always say hello, even if you're coming on late. Hey, Christina from Columbus. Hey, hey, hey. So please say hello, even if you're watching late. Please say hello. If you're watching the replay, right, say hello in the comment area and tell me where you're from, okay? Like, I still want to connect with y'all. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Natasha from Nashville. So are you guys ready? If you're ready for tonight's stream, say yes. Like, comment area, say, Genesis, I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting for you to give me this content on legal basics because we're going to be talking about money tonight. Money, honey. Okay, we're going to be talking about money from building your business, and we're going to be talking about the legal side of protecting your business. Okay, so I'm going to be giving you the 401 scoop on things, especially from the planner journal side, because there are some things that again, this is what makes experts. Experts are people who can tell you the yays and the nays. People who just are no rules. They're not gurus. They're no rules. They don't know nothing that they're talking about. They give you just this generic information and they never experienced this information. Okay. But what I'm about to give y'all is the real information that y'all need to know. Okay. Because I'm going to give it to you from my personal experience, from my clients and their experience, because my clients have been through some stuff. Okay, so let's get started. Tonight we're talking about the legal basics of a planner and journal business, and again, this also really applies to honestly any type of print kind of business, whether you're doing print on demand, whether you're selling mugs, t-shirts. We're going to be covering a lot, right? Latasha said I didn't even realize this was live, and this is a live stream. So we're going to be diving into two aspects. We're going to first talk about the money side, getting legal, and the things that you need to do before you start. Then we're going to be talking about the actual intellectual property side. And this is going to be some really good information that you need to know before you get started. So let's first talk about the money side. The number one thing that I talk about this in the ebook, and it's why the ebook is so important. If you have not gotten my $500 planner journal business, you got to get that ebook because it gives you that 6-month plan. And so my goal through these videos is to give you kind of supplementary information while you're working through these 6 months. And in the workbook, in the ebook, I talk about how before you spend a dime, guys, if you need to take notes, you need to take notes. Before you spend a dime on your journal or planner business, make sure your business is legal first. One of the biggest mishaps, I don't care, listen, then don't tell me, well, just I know that I'm an executive in a Fortune 500 company. I've seen executives in Fortune 500 companies, not even think about dropping $500, and they're completely forgetting that, hey, before you spend one drop, legalize the business so that you can have it in your expenses. So, no matter how big or small, you may say, oh, I'm just buying a $12 domain, but that $12 domain is an expense. It's a business expense. Okay. So it is not just you spending your personal money. And one of the biggest issues I see in a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in the planner journal business, is that they get so excited. So next thing you know, you're buying this, you're buying that, you're buying it with your personal income, and you're not even realizing, hey, you're starting a business. Like all of these different things that you're buying, that's a business expense. From the littlest thing is a business expense. I want to show you guys, I'm going to be doing an unboxing, but I just got the proof for my next product. I'm going to so y'all can see it. This is my next prayer journal product that's coming out. And I just got the proof. And, this is a business expense, even though it only cost me $2 and something cents plus shipping. It's a business expense. So no, I did not take my personal, credit card, debit card and swipe it. No, I take my business card and pay for it because it's a business product. Okay. It's an expense for my business. So the first thing is that make sure your money has already been separated. Okay. So even when we talk about the my $500, planner and journal business, what you really want to do, excuse me, is that you want to give your business $500. Like, so, before you spend that $500 personally, this is what I did. And this is what, I've learned from other people. And this is my personal experience. What I did was, you can do two things. One of my businesses, I loaned myself $500, and then when my business paid me back $500. Another business, I just gave my business $500, But what I did was I wrote a check. So I didn't just take out $500 cash and then go put it into the business bank account. What I did was I wrote myself a check. So I wrote my business a check. This is very, very important. This is for tracking information so that you can track the money trail. So what I did was I wrote Genesis Dorsey wrote a check to the company, and the company took the check and put in the bank, right? And the reason why is because you want to show that, number one, you've invested in your company, right? But the second thing is that it wasn't like you were taking petty cash, basically just random cash, just putting in your business. But there was a trail that showed that this was a personal giving that went to a business bank account. Then now that business has $500 sitting in the bank account and ready to use. But before that happens, you have business has to become legal. So make sure that you get all your paperwork filed. Make sure that you file as your right company. One of the suggestions I always give people is do not function as a sole proprietor in your business. And if you don't know what those words mean, go to SBA.gov, the Small Business Association, and you want to, this is so important, but the Small Business Administration is a great site, and it has all this information from the government about starting your small business, right? And so what you want to do is that you want to file, I always recommend an LLC, because most of you guys are not starting a corporation with a prayer and journal business. And I wouldn't even, again, I can't say what you should be because it is based on partnerships and that. So there are reasons to do that. But most plan journal business I know are LLCs, unless they have a certain type of partnership set up where they need to be a different type of, they need to file as a different type of business. But go to the SBA.gov and it talks to you about the different kinds of businesses you can file as. But most are going to file as an LLC. But do not run your prayer journal business or planner business or journal business or print on demand business as a sole proprietor. People give this really cheap information, tell you, oh, you don't need to file, you don't need to pay for that. Run as a sole proprietor. And a sole proprietor is basically where your personal is linked to your business functions. And the problem with that is that if you get sued, they can come after your personal assets. So that's a very dangerous game to play, right? So, and some people think, oh, I'll never get sued. But nowadays, people are really stupid, and people will try to sue you. I had someone, matter of fact, this was on the graphic design type of my business, but I had someone last October try to talk to me about suing me. And I went off. I said, listen, I didn't say I wish you would, but I went off because people are stupid. People are really stupid. And so you want to make sure, and even if they did, they wouldn't be able to touch my personal assets because I'm an LLC. So it's very important that you file at the minimum as a LLC. Once you file as an LLC, and again, some of you guys live in different states. It's important too. Some of you guys live in different countries. So I know a lot of you guys are from different countries. So whatever your government, whatever your continent, sorry, not continent, but whatever your country's rules are for filing as a business, you want to make sure you file as a business. So if you live in, the UK, you live in France, you live in Italy, you live in Africa, whatever the stipulations are to be an official business so that you can have a business bank account, you want to follow those rules, whatever those rules are. Okay. Now I am talking about the American way because I'm from America, but I know a lot of you guys are from different countries. So I don't want to tell you the SBA, you don't even have the SBA. It's like something else, right? So make sure that you have set all that stuff up. Again, you may say, Genesis, I already know this stuff. We still got to go through the basics, okay? Because for some of you, you know it, but then when you go to the store and you go to Walmart or you go to Target and you get yourself some, laundry detergent, and you're like, oh, let me grab these pencils for the office. You pay for the pencils and the laundry detergent with your personal account. Right. And we know that business 101 is whatever's for the business, I pay for it separately with the business bank account, debit or credit card. Right. So these are just practices you got to train yourself to do, because for some of you, I want to make sure, my biggest goal is that I'm helping you guys run the business side. OK. And a lot of you guys come from the design side and all that is great and dandy. But at the end of the day, my YouTube channel is about the business side, okay? I need to make sure that you are actually building a scalable, profitable business, because who cares how pretty your planners and journals are if you're not making any money from them? That's a waste of time, okay? So I need to make sure you got stuff set up, okay? because some of you can obtain grants. You can actually get capital for your business. Some of you guys are asking just how to get funding, how to get money. And if you have a great idea, you can get funding for that idea, no matter what kind of business it is. So, but in order to apply many times for these grants and for these, like, whether you're doing for pitch competitions, you need to be a legal business, so you need to make sure all your paperwork and stuff is in order so that you can obtain or at least enter yourself into these types of, competitions or, grants or whatever it may be. You have to make sure your stuff is in order. Okay. The other reason why I want you to make sure your stuff is in order is for the sake of the copyrights and the trademarks that we're going to be talking about. Okay, it's very important, very, 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 very important that you realize that when you are launching like your website, all that different type of stuff, you don't want it to be where like everything's tied to you. You want things to start to be tied to your company, right? And this is like the boss woman move, right? We own companies. Okay, my name is Justice Dorsey, and I own companies. I don't own, well, I got a little side hustle here, a little side hustle here. No. Everything's under companies. Okay, so there's Genesis Dorsey. Okay, there is, of course, a Glam Print Go. Royal Prayer Journal is under Glam Print Go, and I have different things structured differently. And then, of course, I have another company called Yatzar. And so things are structured in that way. So I have a total of 3 companies, okay, in one ministry. So you want to make sure that you don't have a whole bunch of side hustles. You need to have these companies structured, okay? And that's going to help you, too, for tax time. Because when it comes time to file your taxes, which this is the time to file your taxes, at least in America, you want to make sure that stuff isn't all jumbled together where your personal money is jumbled with your business money, and you bought a domain from GoDaddy over here, and that was the same day you went to Chipotle and got that burrito, and so that's all this. You want to make sure that all your business transactions are in your business bank account and all your personal transactions are your personal transactions, so that when it comes time to file, that's important. The other reason why I want you guys to make sure you're legally structured is that paying yourself. How many of you guys want to learn about paying yourself? Anybody want to learn about how to pay yourself? Because we're going to talk, this is some legal basics. Does anybody want to learn about Genesis? Let's say I start making money in my business. I'm starting to make some cash flow. How do I pay myself? Do I just, cash at myself some money? Do I just take some money out? How do I actually pay myself the right way so that everything is structured correctly? So if anybody wants to learn in the live chat, just say, hey, Gigi, I want to learn that. I want to learn it. Hey, me, right? So I want to talk about this because a lot of people don't know, especially once you start to make some real money, how to pay yourself. Because sometimes we just don't have mentors to tell us, or you're trying to Google out and you don't really understand how. But the number one step that you want to take is to put yourself on payroll. Okay, you want to put yourself on payroll. You never pay yourself under the table. You never just write yourself a check. I always recommend payroll, and the reason why is because just like you would work for any other company, there are things that have to be taken out of paying yourself, such as taxes. Okay, and so the best thing to do is to use a software system that pays you and takes out those necessary things that need to be taken out of paying yourself, right? Because if you decide to pay yourself, you still got to take that stuff out and put it aside. So what I recommend is using software like QuickBooks. You can use software like Wave Apps. Also to Square, which is the payment processor. Square actually has a payroll option where you can actually set up payroll, and that is an awesome way. So what you need to do is you got to put yourself on payroll. And for all of my solo entrepreneurs and freelancers who's doing this kind of business, this is actually what you need to do. You got to put yourself on payroll. I learned this when I was doing my graphic design business. And, I was reckless. Okay. I was like, oh, I made $5,000 today. Okay, great. Swing, and that's not how you do it. Because what happened was that, and this is for those of you who want to work from home, or just run your own business, making your own money. Okay. People won't tell you that you need to do this, because what happens is that when it's time for you to buy a car, a house, and let's say you completely work for yourself, right? Just like when you work for someone else, you would pull out your W-2s, right? And you would say, okay, this is what I've been making from this company. The same thing for yourself. So technically, this is so important. This is really big. This is really big. When I went to buy this bag, perfect example. When I went to buy my RTMM, this is my recent bag. I'm about to get another one for April. Okay, I'm a big Louis Vuitton fan. But anyway, when I went to buy this RTMM, right? At first, I was going to get it. I got this in March. I was going to get it in February. I decided to get in New York when I went to go see my big sister Martha, right? This is a perfect example. So at first, my friends were like, "Oh, why don't just go get it today?" And I said, "No, I haven't paid myself yet. This is a good lesson for some of y'all, okay? I haven't paid myself yet because I put myself on payroll. So just like how when I used to work for someone else, I got paid every 2 weeks, I pay myself every 2 weeks. So no, I don't pay myself at will or just give myself some money. Oh, I feel like let me give myself some money. That's not how it works. I put myself on payroll. And this is really important because a lot of people I know who are freelancers, entrepreneurs, they don't know how to the same way you work for someone else. Listen to this. You work for yourself. You have to have the same discipline. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's freedom," or "I can make whatever I want." Yes, that's true, but you technically need to treat yourself the same way you would treat the same way you were treated as an employee. Technically, I am an employee of my own company. Okay, and if you don't run your business this way, you're going to end up being the thief of your company because you're going to end up this is so big. I wish I could break this down, but a lot of people who are shifting from like being working 9 to 5 to being their own boss, when you start seeing a lot of money coming, sometimes you don't understand how to function. This is a real talk. We got to have a real honest talk. Okay, so you have to understand that you got to put yourself on self-control, and that is to put yourself on a payroll. When you put yourself on payroll, either you're going to be paid every 2 weeks, weekly, but you're not paying yourself just when you feel like it. I know some people know every 2 weeks. Okay. And the reason why, again, is that when it comes time to buy large purchases, like for instance, another car, okay, they need to see, okay, how consistently are you getting paid? Right. A lot of people, when they shift to becoming a solopreneur or a entrepreneur, your money is so fluctual, right? And a lot of times that prevents you from getting certain things you need because there's no proof of like, number one is like actually, how much you need. And, so it's very important that you structure yourself. And these are like the gems I'm trying to give y'all. I'm trying to give y'all these gems early in the game. Okay. So that you understand, okay, I'm a boss. Okay. And so you have to pay yourself like a boss. You got to pay yourself like you are running a company, not a side hustle. Right. And it's just so important. And I like what she said. It's called piercing the corporate veil. And thank you for discussing this point. It is very important. And again, I gotta share this because it's funny. I come from parents who were in corporate success. My father was an executive in wealth management. My mother, she was an executive for education companies before they started their own business. And just because my parents well educated, just because my parents have a business, I'm a part of the business. That means nothing. I can still be ignorant, and I was ignorant. Okay, so just because you have a certain title or whatever, listen, all of us can forget at one point. Okay, so this is why I'm doing this so that we can just, just kind of just it being like, okay, here's just another something else to remember. Okay, so that we can structure ourselves correctly. So this is why you want to be legal. If you can't do payroll as a sole proprietor. I mean, you can do it though, you just write people checks, but you won't be writing it from a business bank account or a business checkbook, or you can't set up direct deposit, so I like it because I can set up direct deposit from my own company to me. And when it comes to making larger purchases, they can see the consistency of the payroll, right? And so that is just, so I cannot stress. That's why we get legal. So we can do some boss moves, okay? On top of that, there are things you can write off in your business. Yes, but you can't listen, okay? There are things you can write off in your business. Yes, even as a sole proprietor, things you can write off, but let's just be an LLC at the minimum, okay? But there are things you can write off, especially in your first year of business, your first couple of years actually of business. So that's why we want to make sure we're legal before we start spending all this money on books and planners and journals and mugs and t-shirts and websites and domains and web hosting and all these different things. You want to make sure all that stuff is coming out of the right account, okay? Now, the other thing I want to talk about before we hit, because we're doing really good, before we hit the lawyer side, like of intellectual property, I also have to add a couple more points as far as being legal. Okay, I want to talk about partners, because we need to talk about partnerships in business. You got a friend who wants to help you in your business. We got to talk about the legal side, okay? And it's the other part of the legal side. We got to talk about this. You want to start a business, and you got a friend who wants to start a business. And they're like, you know what? I want to start it with you, right? So I get questions like, should you start a business with a friend? Should you start a business with a family member? And these are some good questions we need to talk about. That's how we're doing this video. So here's the thing I need to cover is that what goes into picking a partner, okay? Because picking a business partner is a serious situation. And I've had business partners. I've had businesses that were just solo where it was just me. But it's very important to note that you do not pick your clone. This is the first rule in picking a business partner. You do not pick your clone. So you never pick someone who does what you do. You pick your weakness, okay? You pick someone who can cover the things that you can't cover. In other words, you only partner with your blind spot, okay? You guys know how when you're driving and there's a part where you can't see when you're driving, and we call it the blind spot. It's the area that you cannot see. You want to make sure you identify with someone who has your weaknesses covered. So you got the stuff that you're good at, and they have the stuff that they're good at. And there may be some overlaps, but it shouldn't be where you're basically partnering with yourself, right? That's never a good thing, because we have to have our business caps on. This is not the fun cap. This is the business boss, right? And the business boss says, I need to make sure that I'm partnering with someone who is basically the yin to my yang, right? So it's like, if I got this spot covered, so in other words, if I'm gonna be defense, you need to be offense, right? And you also need to make sure that you aren't partnering with somebody just because you're lazy. Now, this is when the GG comes out. Y'all know I'm a little cutthroat, right? So some people want partners because you're lazy and you don't feel like doing work. So you want to find somebody who will take on some responsibilities that you don't feel like taking on. Sometimes you don't need a partner. You just need to stop being lazy. Sometimes you don't need help. Sometimes you say you need help, but you don't need help. You're just lazy. So make sure you're not picking someone just because you don't feel like doing the work, okay? So you want to make sure you're finding someone who compliments you. On top of that, you also want to make sure you find someone who actually has business experience. And business experience does not mean like they ran something for 30 days, they quit. They're really easy to give up, but I've been in business. You were not in business long enough to be considered a business owner. You were in business for 30 days. So you need to find someone who actually has stamina, because again, it's really fun to start something, but to be in a business, you got to stay in it. Okay. So you don't want someone who's emotionally led and someone who is who really does not have the experience. They just have the hype, right? And sometimes we're so experienced to start something that we attach ourselves to people by emotional connection and not by actually, assessing the situation, saying, hey, this is probably not a good person, at least for the business, okay? So it's important to make sure that you are joining with someone who has the actual experience, because when you get into this thing, you have to make some real decisions. You got to be mature enough to make those decisions, okay? And that goes to my next point. They have to be mature. Yeah, you can be 45 and not mature. You can be 56 and not mature. You can be 15 and mature. But most of you are not yet, okay? The point is that age does not equal maturity. I learned this a long time ago, okay? Because I am usually, most people I've ever done business with or work with are much older than me or a little bit older than me, okay? I'm currently 27. So when I first got in business, which was in my early 20s, I really learned that just because someone has been in life does not mean that they've been in business, okay? And so this is why you got to really make sure people are actually mature to handle a business. I'll give you a perfect example. You know, when you start a company and there's not enough cash flow in the business to pay yourself, you don't pay yourself. Yeah, there's this saying that people say pay yourself first. I'm actually the one person that will actually go against that one rule. Okay. What you need to do is you need to have a job before you decide you're going to pay yourself for your business. I'm sorry if this offends some people, but it's the truth. Okay. So I'm not into paying myself first out of my business, because if my business is bleeding and needs cash flow in order to operate, I'm not going to kill my business. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I am sustained outside of that business. And I'm going to make sure that whatever money is in that business stays in that business so that it can have and build some legs to grow. Right. I know some people don't like this saying, but I used to teach this all the time, that your business is a baby. Right. And I'm talking about in the starting phases. Right. So I'm not talking about when you've been in business for 20 years, your business is no longer a baby in 20 years. But when you first get started, your business is a baby. And so it needs as much focus, attention, and care as possible. And so a lot of times, if someone is not mature, they'll say, "Oh, okay, we just did this contract for 50 grand. Okay, hey, let's pay ourselves." No, no. Maturity says, hold on, wait. I may want to pay myself, but it may not be the time yet, because this business needs as much money as it can get, because we're going to have some investments very soon down the road, and we need to make sure we have enough money and that we're not pulling our personal funds to fund business ventures, right? And that's maturity. Maturity is being good at communication. Maturity is someone who is willing to not let stuff stay under the rug as your business partner and then bring that stuff up like 3 months later as if something didn't happen, right? So you have to make sure people are actually mature enough to be in business with you. And sometimes you don't need a partner. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do, so sometimes you don't. Okay, and that's just the honest truth of it all. Okay. The next thing is, people ask me, what about family members? All the rules I talked about before apply to family. The one thing I will say on top of family is, don't let family members guilt trip you. Ooh, y'all ready to have a real conversation? Okay. Don't let family members guilt trip you into thinking that you owe them something. Because blood is just that. It's blood. That's what it is. It's blood. You are my family member. Never said that you were supposed to be my business partner. Never said that I was supposed to do what I owe you, giving you a job. I've experienced all these things. Okay. I don't owe you anything. I owe you my love, my care, my affection as a family member. But if I blow up and become a millionaire, it is out of the kindness of my heart that I either give you a job, or I give you a check, or I help you out, right? But do never allow people in your family to guilt trip you when you're building your business. Because what I've seen in many cases is that, when you get started, they always give you, some, now that's not for all families, but some of you guys have experienced this. I've had to give you guys advice where, they, at first they didn't say a peep about your business. Okay. And then now you start making some money, and then they're like, oh, so-and-so needs a job, and, so-and-so needs this, and so-and-so needs that, or they'll even include themselves and say, hey, when you going to take your favorite aunt, your favorite nephew or favorite, cousin or whatever out to eat? You didn't take me out to eat when I was building my business and I was barely starving. What about those times I was building my business and I was hungry because I was putting all my money into my business? Were you feeding me then? So now I'm supposed to feed you. So this is very important, that even as grown behind adults, men and women, we have to realize that sometimes in our family members, people feel like they owe that you owe them something for your hard work. Right. You have to remember that it's out of the kindness of your heart that you do these acts. It's not because you owe a family member something. And this goes for business. OK. The other rule I'm going to add in this is that I work for my parents under the family business side. And if any of you guys either work for your parents or desire to, or you have kids who want to work for your business, or it's one of your dreams that, down the road you'll have children who work for your business. The number one rule I learned was to not blur the lines. Okay. I cannot tell you this enough. When I walk into that office, my father is not my father. He is my boss. He's the one who cuts the check. Okay. He is not dad. He's not daddy. He's not papa. He's not father. Hey, dad. Doesn't work that way. Okay, so the titles have to be official. right? And sometimes what happens is that, sometimes we can train our kids to think that blurring the lines is okay, right? But it's not, because here's another reason why you don't do that, is because you don't want the employees around that atmosphere to think that, I get special treatment because somehow, that's my dad. No, he's my boss. So I can get fired just like they can get fired. The grace of it is that more than likely they'll give me a little bit more patience, right? But the point is that I can get fired just like they get fired, right? Because technically I'm not their daughter. When I filled out on my employee paperwork, it doesn't say daughter, it says my name, Genesis Dorsey, right? So you want to make sure that the lines don't get blurred. So when you walk into like an office space, I don't care if it's at home, you need to make sure that like there's a space that is like the office, like it's the official. Because a lot of times what I see is that when families begin to work together, there's a lot of blurred lines. And, sometimes family members, they don't want to have lines because they want to keep everything merged together. No. Who's a CEO? Who's a CFO? Who is the general, what are the positions? Everyone needs a job description. We're not going to say, oh, well, I'm in business with my cousin. Well, what is your title and what is your title? Okay. And you have to make sure that those titles are clear, that people are not overstepping each other just because you're family. We don't bring up family like concerns, in the middle of a business conversation. That has no place. When we go home and we have family meeting, like for instance, tonight, at 8:30, I have a family meeting with my mother and my sister-in-law, right? And so we're going to be praying and spending time with each other, but we're not going to be talking about business, right? When we get in those office, then that's business talk. When we get home, it's home. So you need to make sure that those lines are not blurred, okay? Especially when it comes to family members. This is why too, you need to be legal, so that everybody's on payroll. No one's getting paid on the table as a family member. No one, because people can be crazy, y'all. People can be crazy. So even with family members, you got to make sure things are not blurred. The other thing is contracts. Whew, whew, whew. The C word that is rarely used. Listen. Everybody got to sign a contract. I don't care if it's my dog. I don't care if it is my nephew, my niece, my cousin, my auntie, my uncle, my father, listen, everyone's signing a contract. Okay. Get used to contracts. Okay. A lot of us were used to contracts on our job, our 9-to-5s, but on the business side, when you're the owner, contracts are like candy. I got a ton of it. Okay. So NDAs, right? Non-disclosure agreements. That's basically where this is for a lot of you guys. Some of you guys are spreading your ideas to people who may steal them. And nobody signed an NDA. So this is important. So before you have conversations about like innovative thoughts or ideas that you have, first of all, here you need to sign this first before I even have this discussion. This is real. I cannot tell you, some of you guys don't want to believe me. I cannot tell you the number of conversations I've had with my clients who are on all different levels of spectrums, from hundredaires to millionaires. Okay. And they don't play they don't play. And it could, because I'm telling you why, they've had horror stories of people who they were familiar with, had a conversation. Next thing you know, the domain is taken. Next thing you know, the idea gets taken, and it's because they trusted people without signing a contract. When you have contracts, you can take their butts to court, okay, and say, listen, that was the idea. You were at this table. You had this was signed. It's important because people are thieves. Let's just be flat out honest. People are thieves. And so we use contracts to protect ourselves, not just for conversation purposes, but also for like employee contracts. I don't care whether someone's interning with you or helping you out. They got to sign a contract. Okay. There may be people who may want to work with you to steal your stuff. Right? You may have someone say, oh, hey, I would love to help you out in your business. And really, they're helping you out because they want to get the behind the scenes so they can go out here and do the same thing that you're doing. Now, there's nothing wrong with that if, you frame it the right way. But, you got to protect yourself. Okay. So that's what we use contracts. And I'm real careful about people helping me. Because you come behind the scenes and you see all the stuff that I do. How do I know that you're not going to go out here and just steal all my ideas in the way that I'm playing? No, you got to sign a contract. Everyone got to sign. The dog, the cat, the sock. everybody sign a contract, okay? There's different types of contracts. You can hire an attorney to create custom contracts that pertain to your business, because a good attorney will know all the different clauses that need to be added in your contract so that you are protecting your business. And it's funny because this is why when we talk about starting a business, it does take some money, because you got to protect your dreams. I think some people really don't understand, like, how expensive it is to be ignorant, how expensive it is to not protect yourself. Because when you do not protect yourself, everything that you put your time and money in will go away. And this is why I tell people, the best thing you can do in your business is to save money. People tell me, how can I start a business for free? I mean, I can give you some pointers, but you won't be able to run it for free, because eventually you're going to need to protect yourself. You're going to need to have things set up. You're going to have to pay for different things. And it does cost money, because you're not just building a hobby, you're building a business. Okay. So contracts are important. Non-competes, oh my God, I could talk about so many different other topics, but just make sure, guys, that you are researching for contracts. You're talking to an attorney about contracts for your business to protect yourself. But watch conversations, guys. Do not share your ideas, innovative thoughts, concepts, inventions. Do not share them out loud at tables, just nilly-willy. When you go to coffee, this is like me. I wish someone would have told me some of this advice that I'm sharing right now, because anyway, when you go out to like Starbucks, coffee places, very tight quartered spaces, guys, people listen to your conversations, whether you know it or not. And so there are certain conversations you do not need to have in public. Okay. Certain conversations need to be in a private room, a conference room, at a home, at, a corporate space where there is closed doors. But please make sure that you are sharing confidential information in private spaces. I cannot tell you. Let me tell you something. I was at a coffee shop a couple months ago, and someone was like sharing an idea. And this guy, when they left, this guy next to me said, and they were so stupid because they didn't even buy the domain. I just bought it. That man heard their conversation. I just went south. I just went southern in my accent. Heard their conversation, and then he said to me, turns to me when they leave, he says, and they're so stupid because they didn't even bother to buy the domain, but I just bought it. And we call those domain squatters. And you may say, well, that's not right, but I mean, it's not wrong either. You didn't protect yourself. So these are people who will sit on domains that are popular names or whatever, and then they will resell it to you. So on GoDaddy or whatever, it was only 99 cents or $12.99, right? But he took it. So now if you want that name, you're going to have to pay a price for it, or you're going to have to get another name. Right. And so this is why, like, you really have to protect yourself. Okay. Please protect yourself legally when it comes to conversations. Do not, Brittany said even your phone is listening, but it's really important. You just want to make sure that you definitely protect yourself. Okay. You guys got that? Is this helping you guys? If this is helping you guys, please let me know. Okay. But please let me know if you guys are enjoying this stuff is helping you. We are almost done. I just want to make sure I'm covering all the legal basics. And again, I may not cover everything because we can talk in depth, but my goal is to give you the basics, things to begin thinking about when it comes to running your business. Okay, now let's talk about the legal side as far as your lawyer. It's important for you to obtain a lawyer. You will need two types unless this one person can do both. Most times you want to have specific lawyers, but the best lawyers that you need to have is number one, you need to have a general attorney. This is someone who is like, kind of someone who is really focused on the business side as far as filing your business paperwork, answering different types of questions for you legally, preparing your contracts for you, right? And so having a really good attorney who can, again, file your business paperwork, who can set up your contracts, that's awesome. You definitely want to have an attorney on deck. The second type of attorney you want to have is an intellectual property attorney. And this is because you're going to be starting a business where you actually are have content or design work that you are creating or own. right? And so an intellectual property lawyer is the lawyer that's going to help you to protect your trademarks, your copyrights, inventions, patents. Actually, technically, you actually may want to get somebody, well, technically, intellectual property to do that, but you want to find an intellectual property lawyer who may specialize in like patents and inventions, because patent and inventions are like a whole other game, okay? But you definitely want to find an intellectual property lawyer that will help you to protect your intellectual property, which is basically the stuff that came out your brain, right? And so let's talk about this. So intellectual property lawyer, you're going to need, again, minimum for copyright and trademark. Now, copyright, technically, you can file yourself, but it's very important to definitely, you cannot do a trade. You need to hire an attorney for a trademark, okay? Copyright, you literally can file that yourself. You can write copyright.gov, you can file that yourself. Trademarks, you can't. Okay, trademarks, you're going to need to get an attorney to file that because there are different classes and there's a whole bunch of lingo. And so it's best to file with having the attorney file for you. Now, let's talk about why we should protect our intellectual property. So your copyright is going to help you to protect content, whether that is like a song, whether that is a book, a piece of a play, it helps to protect all that type of content. So for instance, this is very important. If you have any written content, for instance, in my new prayer journal that's coming out, there's written content inside, right, that I have personally written. This is my work, okay? And so because this is my work, it needs to be copywritten because I don't want someone to say the same, take all these lyrics, take all these words out, okay, and then put it in their book and say, oh, this is mine. No, it's not. This is why, too, you want to produce and publish your product. Okay, because you can't say that something is yours and you never published it, right? So that's why for some of you guys, you need to get those books out because you have stuff in your mind and you're saying, oh, somebody stole that, but you never published your work, right? So you want to make sure that you publish your stuff. When you publish it, again, the copyright helps to protect the content that is yours, not the content that belongs to somebody else, the content that is yours. This is important to talk about as well. And I wanted to add this part, we're almost done. But sometimes, can I just say it? If you didn't come up with something, stop calling it that you're the one. Stop saying that you're the one who came up with it. I've had different people on different occasions tell me of things that they came up with, and it's not proprietary. A copyright and a trademark can only protect things that are proprietary, like things that are like yours, right? So you can't take something that's someone else's and try to legally protect that. If it doesn't belong to you, it's not yours, okay? And this goes also because people can sue you for this, right? Where like you take someone else's concept and you claim it to be yours, right? You cannot claim something to be yours that is not yours. Even if you take a variation of something, and I got to talk about this because we talk about things like curriculum or like, certain types of content or even books. I get people tell me all the time, well, I'm the first to do this. And I tell them, no, you're not. And I know I love you guys, but you gotta listen to me. Google. Sometimes you gotta humble yourself. I've come up with concepts all the time. I say, you know what, this is a great concept. Then I Google. I said, I'm not. I wasn't it. I wasn't the first to think of this, right? And it is what it is, right? And I humble myself and I say, okay, great. Let me keep on thinking about different ideas. But I am not too high and mighty to think that somehow I can, what I've created is new under the sun. Many things that we create are not new under the sun. Okay. But it's important to note that, before you go out here and try to trademark things, do your research, right? And make sure that you aren't the only one, and so that stuff is important. Now, of course, in the trademark world, you can file with a similar name. For instance, a great example is Dove, right? There's Dove that kind of has the women's body products and the men's body products for soap and, a body wash. And then there's Dove, the chocolate, right? So there are things that have the same name, but if you think about it, they're in completely different markets, right? So, you can have a similar name as another company, but you just can't be in the same market when you file that trademark. So that's very, 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 very important note. And also, too, you can trademark slogans. Like many popular brands, their slogans are trademarked, right? That's basically like, their sayings that are underneath their name, right? You can trademark the name, you can trademark the slogan, you can trademark the logo. Louis Vuitton, their logo is trademarked. So when a brand wants to knock off, for instance, I give a perfect example. This cracks me up all the time. I was out to eat, and this woman came up to me. She said, "Where'd you get your Louis Vuitton purse from?" And I said, "The Louis Vuitton store." She said, "Oh, well, I got mine from Chinatown." And there's no offense. Just a disclaimer: I am not trying to knock anybody. Wherever you buy your purse from, hey, okay. But when we talk about lawsuits, Louis Vuitton is always suing, and many high-end luxury brands are always suing knockoff companies because they're knocking off their designs or their trademarks, and so they have the right to sue these companies because they legally protected their logos, right? And so a lot of high-end brands, pretty much every major company has trademarked their logo or their slogan, so that if someone tries to copy them, they have the right to sue because someone technically is making money off of their intellectual property, right? So let's say someone comes across your logo and says, "Oh, I like that logo. Let me copy it. Just switch out the name." Then they start using that logo to make their money or whatever. And you're like, "Wait, hold on. You took my idea, my concept, and now you're running with it." Well, if you did not trademark, you cannot sue them. That's how it works. Now, of course, you want to make sure that you look at your country's laws, because remember, a lot of you guys are from international countries. I'm just from a little old America, right? But for all of my amazing print school students, if you're from different country, research your country's laws on copyrights, trademarks, intellectual property, to see how you can protect your intellectual property. It's very important. But again, the best way to do it is to contact a lawyer who specializes in intellectual property, because they can help you with protecting your stuff. Y'all got that? Okay. So any questions? We are at the end of this video of the legal basics. Again, I just scratched the surface. I know there's a lot of things I didn't cover, but my goal was just to get you guys thinking about just the beginning things of the legal side of this business. You are running a business, you are running a company, and my biggest desire is that this channel is not about just us making pretty or cool or, dope kind of cool things, but for us to actually run a company. I think that, I know for myself, my biggest, joy was when I started to realize how I can make money with my mind, with my ideas. That was like, man, when I hit that, I was like, wow, but a lot of times if you don't have good mentors or people around you, or if you're just not having these kind of conversations, consistently, a lot of times you can miss things. And I don't know everything. I sure don't. No. But what I do know, I will gladly give you guys so that you guys can actually make some real money. I'm not into y'all making chump change. Chump change, you might as well go get a job for chump change, okay? But if we're going to really build these things where we actually love our jobs and we're building things we're passionate about, then we need to make enough money to cover our bills, to build for our dreams, to cover our families, our kids, college, our dream possessions, okay? Because everyone has something that I'm sure they want in life, and you got to make some real money for that after taxes. Okay, like not even before taxes, after taxes. You got somebody after taxes. And so that stuff is really important. So I just hope that, this content was able to help you get you thinking. Hopefully you're able to take some notes and think about some things that you do. If you need to write some contracts, you need to go write some contracts or get an attorney to write you up some contracts. If you need to, start looking into an intellectual property lawyer, if you need to file your copyright, if you need to maybe rethink or think about who will be a good partner if you need a partner. Maybe you need to legalize your business, get all your paperwork in order. If your business requires licenses that you need, or if your business requires for you to have certain types of, certificates or things like that, certifications, make sure you get all that stuff in order so that you can have the right business. Okay. So I'm just looking through comments just to make sure I've answered all comments. Give me a second. So Planning Mom, we have a marketing class coming up soon that will help you on that. Okay. Hey, Angela. Hey, Ash. Yes. Hey, Brett. I see you, girl. I'm so glad, Jennifer. I'm so glad. Hey, teacher. Is it Ted? I know I'm butchering. Hey, Uptown Philly. Is it Tedria? Y'all know I butcher names so bad. I love y'all though. Thanks, Josette. Hey, socializer, what's going on? Hey, girl. Hey. My voice just sounded so weird. When did you transition from employment to business owner? So my story is a little different. Okay, so my story is a little bit different. So my story is different because if you know my life story, you'll know that I came home from college to help with the family business, right? So I came into a family business. However, I did work for other businesses before that. So my transition was really me transitioning from working for the family business to myself. So that's what I can discuss. And so I left when the amount of money I was making was above what I was making working for my family. And actually, I still work for my family though, because technically I'll never leave that business. But as far as like me getting my own, space and, just train, what I've grown to now is definitely like, but let me give you some tips. Actually, before I even go, because I don't want to spend too long, would you guys like a separate video on that of how I transitioned? Because Brittany, I want to almost give you your own like video because it's so much that I almost want to give you a checklist of things that I, did and make sure we're good. But the generic thing was the revenue. I made sure my business was making more than enough for me to transition so that I wasn't losing anything, right? The only reason why you should start a business off the ground and just hop into it is if God says so. Now, I'm a Christian, so I do believe in that. If God didn't say nothing, so you stay at that job, okay? And you would, what I suggest is that you do not leave until your business is generating more than what you make at your job, plus a lot more. Because if you think about it, when you work for yourself, right, you have to think about things like, let's say like your job offers you like insurance, right? Well, when you work for yourself, you got to get insurance. Doesn't come with your job, right? For instance, let's say your job offers like other benefits. Like there are some things you got to really think about, and so you want to make sure that you're not just covered as far as how much you're making per year, but there's also some like cushion. Because let's say you have a tough month, like there's some things you got to. If you have a tough month, at your job, there is no such thing as a tough month. Right? You're gonna get paid. But if you have a tough month in your business, do you have some cushion money? So that's why you also need to have, savings, and there's a lot of other things. But what I'm gonna do is, if you guys would like to have a transition video, like what you need to transition, let me know. Okay, because I will definitely do a video, and I see that I will definitely do a video for you guys on that. I will add that to the print school calendar. I also got I'll post this in the community, but I did get a request about doing some kind of resource for the business, like operating as like a boss woman, a boss man. So I will be thinking about that. I'll be honest. My main focus right now is it's really trying to get done this planner and journal boot camp. That is my main focus. Okay, that's my main focus, getting done the planner and journal boot camp. So I may work on that a little bit later. I got Tedra. Okay, perfect. Ash, is it possible to get notified via email when you go live? The best way to get notified is to turn the bell on. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, there's a bell turn the bell on. Hopefully you guys can see it. If you're watching live, I'm not sure you can. When the video is over, you should be able to go back, turn the bell on. So there's a bell, and that bell notifies you. It should notify you via email, and it should notify you via the app that I'm live. So make sure you get that. The other thing is that on the email list, I let you guys know, but we will be picking a set time via the community channel. Okay, so if you're part of the community on YouTube, I will be putting up a poll where you guys will get to pick the official time from now on Mondays. Okay, Genesis, would you mind doing a video on how you got your YouTube channel started and how you actually got started in this online business? Ooh, child, that's a whole video. Yep, that's a video. That's a separate video. Woo, that's a story to tell right there. Josette, are you seeing more competition for the prayer journal? No, I'm not. If I can be truthful, Josette, and be the raw Genesis that I am, most prayer journals are, number one, they're not eye appealing. Number two, a lot of them don't get off the ground because there's no real marketing concept. I've seen so many prayer journals get off the ground on, social media, people launching them. And 3 months later, 5 months later, they're not even still in business. You don't even hear about them. So I don't really see a lot of competition. There's a wide open field. And I'm going to tell you why. Because remember, in marketing, the goal is to sell to a particular niche, a need. And a lot of people are not selling to a need. A lot of people are just I made a prayer journal. And there really isn't anything specific. They're not talking to, a lot of things I teach you guys are so that you will rise above the noise. I don't believe Joe said that there's competition. I believe that there's nothing but noise. And for people who desire to be clear in their mission and their vision of their business and to really go after a need, you'll never have the competition that you think there is. Now, in many industries, there is real competition, but not in the prayer journal space. Nope. So socializing with Sonia says that the bell is there. They just have to click on the X to get out the comments. So you have to hop out of the comments if you want to get the bell. Okay, dokie. I love the journals you create. I'm amazed how you did that and use CreateSpace to make them. Yeah. So this next one, y'all want to see this? This is the next one. Oh, let me check the thing now so y'all can see. Okay. So this is the next prayer journal that I am launching. Y'all get to listen. I only sent this out to the Royal Prayer Journal email list and social media. So no, I don't think I've even done a review on YouTube yet. I will be doing an official reveal on the work behind this. So you guys are going to get to see the whole market. This marketing campaign is about to be crazy. I'm about to show y'all. This is about to be crazy. So this is the official. I wonder if I can share an image with you guys. I don't think I can. Because I would want to show you. Oh, wait. I think I can. Hold on, y'all. I think I can. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys the official cover. Because it's kind of dark in here. So you guys can see it. Okay. Here is that's it. So that is the official cover, which is here. I'm going to show you guys in a second. But that is the official cover. This goes out. I'm taking my time. So we're not rushing anything at all. We're not going to be rushing anything at all. Okay, I'm not rushing anything at all. Okay, I'm not rushing anything at all. Not rushing anything at all. So this is it. I just got the proof today. So I'm really giving you guys some behind the scenes on this. So I did the layout and everything. This took me about 2 days to design and lay out. I already knew what I wanted and I knew the campaign. And this is really important just to share with you guys. I had a whole different prayer journal coming out called Stretch. Had the designs done and everything. And something in my heart was like, this is not the product to release. I was like, what? So I just got still, because I am producing a prayer journal. So I knew, okay, let me just listen to the Holy Spirit. And I'm going to chop off this last part. But so what I did was I sat and I got the product that I knew I needed to create because I knew the need that I needed to create. And so this is a 30-day prayer journal. I usually create ones that are much longer. But you're gonna see the campaign. Y'all gonna see the mark. I'm gonna give y'all the behind the scenes. You can understand all of my thought, okay? Because this serves a particular need. And so this need is that this is for people who do not pray consistently, and they are always struggling, okay, to pray. And they when you do like fast or prayer challenges, they just never last. And it's really because a lot of times they never build up the stamina or the consistency. And so this was made for people who need to get back to praying every day, and not for like 6 months or 3 months, right? It was for 30 days. Okay, can you pray for 30 days? You'll be surprised how many people cannot pray for 30 days. Because I used to be one of them. So what we're going to be doing is we're launching a whole prayer campaign behind this. I'm going to show you guys on how we're going to be packaging these. These will not be shipped out like this. Once I approve the copy, we're going to be shipping them out in black boxes with red roses. Oh, we about to go out with this thing. You hear me? Okay. And we're going to be doing black boxes with red roses and a black ribbon that's going to wrap the black boxes, and it's going to be a very special product. So we're not going to just be dropping the book itself. Is actually going to be the book with another resource, and so I'm really taking out my time to really do this just like I would teach you guys, because this is a business. And so I'm not just dropping product. I want to take my time. I want to shoot some video content. I want to make some additional products with this. I'm going to be coming out with a Pray Now online course. Okay. Why? Because I'm a businesswoman. So I want y'all to pray, but I also got to make sure that I have enough money to run this business, So Royal Prayer Journal, the company, we're going to be launching this my birthday, which is not until April. So we're doing the pre-orders. The pre-orders will open at the end of this month. And so kind of basically February. We're going to spend 2 months with pre-orders because we got a lot we got boxes, and I'm getting rose petals, and that's been taking so much research. And then we're gonna be doing the course. I gotta record the course, so I'm taking my time to build this product right, which means we're gonna do the pre-orders for 2 months, like I said before, and then we will ship these out April. My birthday is April the 12th, so we're shipping these out. But this is important. Notice on how this product is almost done. So I'm not dropping it next week. It's going to be done, and then we're going to spend time with marketing and promoting and all that good stuff. And the blessing is that when you've already built a tribe like I have, I can now go quicker in product releases versus if you don't have a tribe, you can't go as fast because you need to build up your tribe. So anyway, this bad boy's coming out. This is the back of it. It is the Lord's Prayer typed out on the back. The theme is black, if you can't tell. And it has some intercessory prayer. It has quotes from myself. Don't you ever stop speaking. Don't let life shut your mouth. Hey, I love these quotes. My experience does not cancel my expectation. What I've been through doesn't delay or deny what God has promised me. It's on the way. I just love my products. So if you guys love this, I want to end with announcements because I'm done. I'm tired and got to go home. Family meeting is at 8:30. So last minute stuff is that, number one, if you did not get, okay, let's do this because let's end this right. If you did not get your My $500, how many of you guys have the My $500 planner and journal business ebook that breaks out how to launch your own low budget, affordable planner or journal business in 6 months? If you guys got that, let the people know that. Let them just see, okay, who's in the house, okay? Because I don't know about y'all, but let me tell you something. Over 300 people are in this business and listen, we got this. So if you got yours, let the people know in the comments that you got yours and you're working on your business. You're about to build this amazing business, okay? So if you have yours, let the people know, because if you don't have yours, you got to go here. It's only $29.97. $30. I made sure it was affordable because all you guys were asking me, Genesis, it needs to be affordable. I was like, okay. So it's $29.97, $30. $30 to build your business. Come on. I mean, I'm not going to fight the numbers on that, but the price is going up. Okay. I did realize that it was very low. So it's probably going to go up to max like $49. But it's going up. I was like, I can't believe I sold it for 10. That's because I love y'all. I love y'all so much. If you got yours, you need to make sure you get it before it goes up. Okay. So glamprintgo.com/school, because guess what? For anyone who has purchased, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm about to do, but for everyone who has purchased it, I got some updates coming just for those who purchased it, because some new things have happened in the past couple of weeks since I dropped it in the planner and journal business. And one of them is hot, like it's a game changer. So I will be sending this out to only the people who've ordered it. So make sure you've gotten yours, because this is some crazy stuff. It's worth every single penny, okay? And you can see from all, listen, worth every single penny. Do you hear me? Okie dokie, okay? So that's the first thing. If you do not have yours, you need to go here. You need to get it, because all these videos I'm doing, if you have the ebook and you have that 6-month plan, everything I'm talking about, you can add as notes to that 6-month plan. So now it's like you're just building upon building. And if I can be honest, even if you don't have a planner journal business, a lot of the businesses, that you have, a lot of things I'm teaching can apply. I mean, it really can. Okay. The other thing is that Canva Design Bootcamp is coming. Listen, I'm so excited. Okay. And you can make, now I didn't make it in Canva, but you can make this in Canva. This is so easy. This is so easy to make in Canva. Plus the interior, this is so easy to make in Canva. This is so easy to make in Canva. Okay. Okay, it's the inside of it. But so if you have not, seats have been taken. I'm trying to tell you guys, people have been ordering seats every day. It's no joke. It's no joke, because we're about to have some fun in this class, okay? And if you know how I am, we're going to have some fun. Now, my last training I did for Planner Journals, which is a Prayer Journal Bootcamp, was a 2-hour and 30-minute training. We went through everything. Okay, so this Canva class, this is important. I will be doing a video soon this week on what you're going to need for class, just to kind of go over some basic frequently asked questions about class. This is a training, it's going to be an online course, but it's going to be done as a live stream to anyone who wants to watch it live, so that I can answer your questions. So this is going to be a live training that's going to teach you how to use Canva, okay, to make your planners and journals. Because if you don't have graphic design experience, or you're not really big on like using like Adobe InDesign, because I do believe that if you're a graphic designer and you have design experience, you need to use Adobe InDesign. There are some other ones. I did get a YouTuber who told me about Affinity and me using it, and me doing a class on that. So I'm actually learning that software as well. But I'm an InDesigner. I'm also a Mac Apple Pages fan. But Canva is something that anybody can use. But what I got tired of was that a lot of the Canva trainings that I saw, those planners and journals did not look well designed. I didn't really like them. I didn't really care for them, to be honest. And so I wanted to show people how to make some high-end designs using Canva, and ones that can sit on the shelf and look really, really good. And so Canva, though, you have to learn really how to use it, because it doesn't have all of the bells and whistles that are in InDesign or in other kind of design software. So you kind of have to work around Canva to make it work for you. And if you aren't really skilled in how to do that, or you've never had someone like me teach you, you're going to end up just having, no offense, it's going to look all right, but it's not going to look like mine. So I want to show you not just how to use Canva, but I'm going to show you on how I get all of my design assets, because you can add some things to Canva to make it pop. But I'm going to teach you what I do, like how I design Royal Prayer Journal. You're going to learn about it. Yeah, I'm going to show you all the bells and whistles. Now, I didn't make it in Canva, but you can do what I did in Canva. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to get the pretty fonts, how to lay it out right. I'm going to show you, I'm even going to give you insight on, in the layout, what not to do and what to do. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I would design it, how I would lay things out. And the other amazing thing is that during the live training, when we do the Q&A, you could ask me, Genesis, how would you lay this out? And I would show you. So that will only happen if you purchase your seat. Now, the seats are $97. It's worth every buck because all you need is the one training, and you can use the one training to design all your planners and journals via Canva. Like, this is a one-time, all the things I'm doing are one-time investments for you guys. So it's not like, I'm going to be gouging you guys out, but taking this training is going to help you to design it well. And we're going to do it step by step. I'm going to show you exactly what to do step by step. And you're going to watch me on my computer screen lay out a planner and journal in Canva, doing it the way that I would do it. Okay. If you want to get your seat, you can go down here, which is lamprgo.com/school. And if you scroll down to the to the midsection, you'll see the resources section, and you'll see the Canva Design Bootcamp. January the 25th is when it gets released to the public. The live stream though will be happening I think we're doing 24 hours before then. But we're gonna send out the Zoom link to everybody if you want to join the live stream. But if not, it will be put into the online course. In the online course platform. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. I'm tired. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. Okay, but I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye. See you later. See you later, alligator.